Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name is Katie. I am one of the soap makers here on this channel. There are two other soap makers here on this channel, my brother Kenny and my husband Caleb. They just did a collab video you should totally watch. It's really funny. I'll leave you guys a link up there in the little eye icon. It should pop up anytime right now. Before you watch this video, if you haven't seen that one, you definitely should because it's hilarious. Today's soap is tea tree and charcoal. Now, I have had so many requests for an activated charcoal and tea tree essential oil soap. Typically soaps that are made with tea tree and activated charcoal are all black, but y'all know I'm a little too extra to just do an all black soap. So we added a little green to it, we added a cool swirl, we added a cool top. I think you guys are really gonna like it. You can follow us on all of the Instagrams. They're gonna pop out right now on the side for me and Kenny and Royalty Soaps. Caleb does not have an Instagram. He does not really have social media at all. But y'all tell me his son doesn't look just like him. He looks just like him. Also, if you aren't signed up for our email newsletter, we will be sending out a newsletter once or twice a month. So I'll leave you guys a link for that down below as well. And without further ado, let's make some soap. The first thing we're going to do for this soap is pour our lye water solution down our stick blender. Everything is at room temperature, which for me is about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Both my lye water and my oils have been pre-measured and prepared far in advance with our master batching techniques. So now I am going to mix this up on high until just past emulsion, and we'll split it off into 3 equal portions. Leave a link to these big buckets I am pouring into down below. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're linked in all the videos just by default. Look, I got bubbles and false trace. How do you like that? Now, typically when I see a tea tree soap, it's very plain. I think a lot of people like to lean towards the natural look for it, so it's gonna be fun to sort of jazz it up today with some funky colors. The first one we are adding is Green Vibrance Mica. That's gonna make a really nice green, though it does look a little bit gross when it first hits the cold process. Next is Let Us Entertain You, which has very quickly become a staple in my soap making colorant catalog. It's from Mad Micas and it's really just stunning. It performs so well. A little goes a long way, as is very typical with Mad Micas colorants. And finally, we have some black oxide mixed with water. And to the black, we're actually going to add activated charcoal. Activated charcoal has a lot of really cool benefits. I encourage you to research those for yourself. So let's blend in these colors from lightest to darkest. And now, of course, it is time to add our essential oil. We are using only tea tree essential oil today. And I am able to calculate exactly how much essential oil needs to go into my cold process soap by using the calculator listed down below. It was put together by Kenna of Modern Soap Making, and she has done all of us bath and body crafters such a favor by creating this website. It is an absolute must for those of us who are using essential oils in their products. And woo, let me tell you, for tea tree essential oil specifically, a little goes a long way. If you have sinus problems, just mixing it in by hand is probably gonna clean you right out. Of course, it's not nearly as potent after the soap has saponified, but man, when you first add it, it's very strong. Activated charcoal and tea tree is probably, as far as like more natural soaps go, my #1 most requested. I think a lot of people see benefits from using tea tree on their skin, though I myself make no claims as to what this soap will do to you besides get you clean. That's all I'm saying about it. This soap
will clean you. When you start making claims about what your soap can do for people besides get them clean, you have to categorize it different than soap. Either it goes into the cosmetic category or the drug category. I will leave you guys, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about proper labeling and verbiage for marketing your products, a link down below to a really helpful website that kind of helps you navigate those otherwise murky waters. But yeah, here at Royalty Soaps, this soap, it's gonna get you clean, and that's all we're saying about it. Now that the essential oil is blended in here, we are going to do a swirl in our once empty bucket. I know, I almost never do this, but I don't know, I'm feeling adventurous today. So I'm gonna pour in some of the green, and I'm gonna pour in some of the black, and I'm gonna pour in a different green. I'm actually just gonna pour on one side now because I can see it's warping a little more than I probably want it to. I'm just gonna keep pouring in. And now that all of the colors have been poured in, I am gonna go ahead and scrape out the buckets very quickly so that everything is all in this large container. And for the little bit left in the buckets, it really doesn't matter where I put it. I think this might end up being a little more swirled than I originally intended, but that's okay. That's just a personal preference. I prefer my colors to be quite separate. I know there's a lot of people though who like them kind of mixed up and all mottled together. All right, so now that all of my soap batter is in, it is time to pour into our large slab mold after this quick commercial break. All right, heave ho, let's pour from the opposite corner that we poured into. Oh yes, I do believe this is going to look quite nice because it's thickened up quite a bit. So I think the colors are gonna stay separate enough for my personal taste. And look at the color line coming out. That's so pretty. And thank goodness that my camera is actually staying in focus for once in its life. Yes, this reminds me of like a snake or something. All right, so now, very carefully, I'm gonna scrape the sides, and once again, try not to muddy the colors too much, so I'll probably scrape one side, get all of that in the mold, and then scrape the next side and put the rest of that in the mold and continue until it's all in. Now this soap is still a touch liquidy for what I had in mind for the design on top, so I'm gonna let it sit for a little while and then we'll come back and texture it and add all the pretty stuff. We're back a little while later and it has certainly set up enough to get the design I want on top. So I'm gonna start by smearing towards the middle. Again, it's still a little bit runny, but for this particular design, it doesn't really matter that much. And I'm gonna do the same thing all the way down all of the lobes. Now, I'm not entirely sure when my camera stopped filming, but all I did was take a spoon and run it down each and every loaf on one side. And now I'm gonna take some of that activated charcoal that I added on the inside of the soap, and I'm going to sprinkle it down the side that I textured. I'm not gonna do like a huge layer or anything, and I'm shaking it out of this particular tablespoon measure because these granules are a bit too large to come out of my tea strainer I would normally use. Come down here and do it the same. I am being careful because potentially a whole bunch could fall out at once and that wouldn't be very good. And I'm sure now that I said it out loud, it's gonna happen. And anything that doesn't stick onto the top will simply be removed tomorrow whenever we unmold the soap, and it'll fall right off. And now that that's done on one side, I'm gonna take the other side and smash it up towards the middle, making sure that I'm not dragging into this activated charcoal and just sort of cleaning up what activated charcoal may have fallen onto the other side so it's a nice clean look. Just gonna come down. Oh yes, I am loving the two-toned tops here. I'm gonna spritz this whole thing with rubbing alcohol right right now, just to help prevent the soda ash. I'd really like these greens to stay true on top. And then on the other side that I just exposed, I'm gonna take a little bit of salt that I rolled in Green Vibrance mica. Both the salt and the mica will be linked for you guys down below. I'm being pretty strategic on where I'm sprinkling it. I'd ideally like it to stay out of the black. And finally, on the very tippy top, I'm just gonna kind of whip them together real quick. Some of the salt will get incorporated, some of that charcoal will get incorporated, and we'll knock down those spikes. It's really just a nice way to pull everything together. I really like the swirly look that it creates when you pick up that chopstick. This is the same sort of swirl we did on top of the avocado and green tea. Caleb just reminded me. I knew I did it on a soap recently, but I couldn't remember which one. Last little swirl here, and that's it. We're done with activated charcoal and tea tree. And this is what the soap looks like up close. I'm absolutely digging it. I love the little trenches on the side with the activated charcoal. I think that adds so much to it. So I'm gonna let this sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back and chop it all up and take a peek at the inside after this quick commercial break.
Excuse me, y'all. I was not ready for this level of iconic. The swirls, they're killing me. They're so crazy. Okay, so let's line it up and cut it and take a peep at the inside, because if it looks anything as good as it does right there, it's gonna be amazing. Pull one out from the inside. Oh, yes. This is what it looks like on the inside. Whoa, and look how different it is from front to back. That's nuts. And the smell is so good. Smells, I mean, just like tea tree oil, but it's not so much that you just like wanna go sit down. Okay, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's some sort of a cartoon. Like it reminds me, I don't know what this color combination reminds me of. If there's like a video game character, some sort of a cartoon that I watched, but there's some sort of nostalgic something that's coming from these. Okay, and the question of the day is another Caleb question. Once again, he can't be here right now, sadly. I'm sorry the boys are not coming in with their comedic additions. I guess boring old Katie will just have to do. So, from Caleb, he says, besides eating cereal with water, what is the most outrageous eating sin you have ever witnessed? Oh my gosh. For me personally, there was a kid in 5th grade who ate his macaroni and cheese with not only ranch, not only ketchup, but with ranch and ketchup at the same time. No, nobody should live their life that way. Ooh, look what happens whenever I alternate them like this. That looks so cool. So this is one of those questions you actually have to comment down below for. Tell me, what is the most outrageous eating sin you've ever witnessed? I can't wait to see the answers for this. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment down below. We have lots and lots of fun videos coming up for this month. The Secret Garden collection is just so fun. This soap will be available to purchase at the date listed below because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But it's there, it's listed, it's on the screen right now. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is going out and investing in some high quality skincare. It is really worth it. Some of you guys have been asking what I've been using on my skin, and I know I look so tired right now. I wonder why. But as far as skin goes, it's really cleared up such a lot since I was a teenager. Right now I'm currently using a combination of some things. I'll list what I'm using down below because, again, some of y'all were interested and maybe it'll work for you. Or you could go and plan your next little vacation, be that a road trip or a full-blown I'm flying somewhere vacation. It's about to be summer. You should at least take a road trip somewhere and do something nice for yourself. Either way, do something that makes you happy, whatever that is, and I will see you guys soon. So until then, bye for now. Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh.